what better way for us to introduce ourselves back to you than looking at the world post-COVID and trying to help you navigate effectively with solutions from industry experts. So if you are a Gen Z, this is for you. If you're a millennial, this is for you. If you're a baby boomer, this is for you. If you are an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur or a mentor, anyone who wants to understand what it is like in the new workplace, we cooked this amazing season for you, because at the end of the day, we're all looking for the best way to thrive, and we chose to be the ones to lead you on this journey. So welcome to the BTC Show. So the new workplace, work changed after COVID, and the first conversations were the different generations.
Yeah.
Now, you're one of those that Gen Zs and millennial by heart. So you shatter the conversation I used to have with my director that this is how Gen Zs behave. This is how, and he would tell me it has nothing to do with Gen Zs. So for you, you're an evidence that you could be this by heart and you could be this by training, as in what you expose yourself to. So how do you see the conversations of different generations in the workplace, and how are you able to become agile and not look like, as in very few like you know how to use technology, connect to stories that make people, very few have over 100. How many HRs have 100,000? No, I'm serious. No, you can have 100,000 Facebook friends. You can't have 100,000 friends on LinkedIn. Do you know why? LinkedIn is not for jokers. So before you get to that level, it means you've sold it consistently and people have recognized the brand and the value you bring. How have you become this agile Mali?
Okay, so one of the advantages of being hungry for knowledge is that you are able to have a glimpse of the future.
Okay.
Sincerely. So all the conversations we had, the conferences that I talked about, 2018, 2019, even 2017, the theme of most of the conferences was the future of work.
Okay, cool.
I was speaking at those conferences, meaning that I was doing some bit of research around the things I was speaking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So the future, I always say, is like a pregnant woman. It gives you notice.
Yeah.
The pandemic did not cause the future to happen.
Yeah, it just fast
Technology did. The
Okay.
pandemic merely fast forwarded it.
Yeah.
I actually wrote a book, Thriving in Adversity in Times of Uncertainty. That's an ebook. It's free on my website. Everybody says, Yemi, why would you write a book and put it for free? I'm like, hey, everything isn't about money. Put it there. Let people read it. And then in 2021, I wrote another one, The Now of Work. Okay. Now, that is because of all the things we had been seeing happening. And then nothing has shocked me. It's not even a generational issue for me. It is the evolution of the workplace.
Okay.
Occasioned primarily by technology. Fast forwarded by the pandemic, and then fully embedded by the current generation that we have. It's a reality. The millennials came and changed the game.
Yep.
They changed the game for us, right?
Yeah.
But their reign did not last for too long. The Gen Zs came into the workforce. And while the millennials give us grief, the Gen Zs are sending millennials to therapy on a daily basis. Because unfortunately, again, we were also saying that develop the workforce, get people ready, succession planning and all that. Before you put people into responsibilities of leadership, get them ready, right? But we didn't get the millennials ready for leadership responsibilities. And we expect them to manage the Gen Zs, who are a totally different breed of human beings. It's not working. And that is why we have conflicts in many organizations today. There are about 3 minimum in most organizations generations at work.
3?
In some, 5 to 6.
Some 5. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, some ancestors who have retired at 60, organizations are saying, we will extend your contract.
Yes.
And all 3, 4, 5, or 6, as the case may be, we're all in the organization. Now, let me come to the millennials and then the Gen Zs. I always try to combine them. They're not too far-fetched, though the Gen Zs are, again, they're showing some different sides right now. As a matter of fact, I've written on this on LinkedIn. I said generations are war. But this is where I am a bit different. So we use the adjectives lazy, rude, impatient,
Yeah.
want to succeed quickly and all that to describe the Gen Zs and some millennials. Please, can you say that you don't know one baby boomer who's rude? At least one. Don't we have them rude?
Yeah.
Don't we have them in a hurry to succeed? Don't we have them overly ambitious? So those unconscious biases leading to describing them with those adjectives are leading more to the conflicts at work. Can we treat them as individuals rather than dealing with them with biases? I work with
And putting them in boxes.
I'm putting them in boxes. I work with many Gen Zs and millennials. Believe me, the ones in my inner circle, the ones in my outer circle, they want to do work. They're always asking me, Yemi, I have bandwidth. Can I do more for you? Don't forget the weekend, I want to volunteer. Meanwhile, in their daily 8 to 5, their bosses are saying they are impatient. They don't like to work. They are rude and all that. It is action leading to reaction. We always want to situate the conversation around the reaction.
Okay.
We forget the action leading to the reaction.
Okay.
We say that they are quiet quitters at work. We forgot that we quiet fire them as well. So quiet quitting is a response to quiet firing. So you are quiet firing me if you don't give me performance feedback.
Yeah.
I know that I'm working very hard and you don't give me the recognition and the reward, you are quiet firing me. And how would I respond? I can't fight you, so I'll just bid my time. I'll quiet quit.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So all the adjectives and all the reactions and all the current realities around the new worker is because some people have just decided not to shift their minds around where they're coming from, the analog world. The analog world cannot manage a digital worker.
True.
It can't happen. And when there is distance, far distance, and I learned this from Hussein Udo, when there is far distance between two people, the individual with the more power has the responsibility to close the gap.
Yes. True.
That's the power distance theory. Yeah. But guess what? We are expecting them to change, to shift. They won't come to our analog world. We have to go into their digital world and know how to work with them and manage them and relate with them. But most of the older generation guys, in the workplace especially, they are staying and saying, this is how we've always done it. And it worked for them. But you won't work in the now of work. I mean, this morning, the woman who makes zobo for me, when she came to deliver, she was all dolled up and all that. I said, madam, you're really looking good though. She said, don't mind me. I had to get a professional to do my makeup at home and tie my gilly. It triggered a conversation around the generation. Big opportunities are there for them, the younger generation. Opportunities that were not there for the older generation. So these guys, they have their hands in many things, right? But we are not seeing them. We see them as impatient. We see them as rude. We see them as XYZ. But the point is the revolution that we are right now is allowing them to do many things at the same time. So what the older generation should do, and this is me canvassing that we should reduce the war in workplaces. What the older generation should do is to realize that, hey, the world has changed. We thought the future was going to come maybe in 2025 and all that, but like I said, fast forwarded by the pandemic. So now it has totally changed. Work is anywhere work can be done. I have done my entrepreneurship now for 1 year. My office, my bed is here, and my office is here. Not even carved out anywhere within the building, and I have enough space and all that, but what I'm selling is knowledge, is advisory, right?
Yeah.
Do I need to be in an office to do all of that? Before now, the first thing you're looking for is money for rent. Money to pay receptionists at least, put ACs and all that. I have done 1 year without any of those. And I'm not sure we went through 1 week without a brief for work in the whole of 2022. I'm not kidding.
Amazing.
It's been a fantastic year for us. I was saying to someone this morning, I think it's the best year of my career. Amazing. And again, it allows me to be harmonious with life. I drop my last daughter in school almost every morning. from Omole to Ilupeju almost every morning. When I had a chance, I'd drive from Omole to pick her in school, and work continued. The time that I couldn't do it, of course, somebody else will help to do it. But the point is that that's balance and harmony and rest and all that. And that's what the younger generation are asking for.
Yeah.
We think that no, work, and then you rest later. These guys are saying I can work and rest and ball, i.e. enjoy life all at the same time.
Want everything.
And we are struggling with that reality. So some of us have just accepted that based on the work that we have done in the past, anticipating the future, like I said, like a pregnant woman, and knowing that no, the fear doesn't just happen, it happens gradually. But there's a form of lethargy on the part of so many of the older generation to move away from, as it has always been, so shall it be, world without end, amen. No, things have totally changed. They don't need the official car.
Yeah.
They have Bolt, they have Uber, but they need flexibility. They don't want to be on Third Milan Bridge 2-3 hours in the morning in traffic, and then 2-3 hours to get back to work in the evening. Those 2-3 hours, they're saying that they can be more productive. I do understand that we don't get it right with all of them. There are some of them who will take advantage of the opportunities that we provide around hybrid or flexibility. But I promise you, many older generation people are taking advantage as well. Years ago, oil and gas company, I was at Rwanda. This oil and gas was my client. There was a lady who was serving with a manager in that particular organization. She was always sending that copper to go and buy pepper and all that at the market and take it to her house. What do you call that? And I left Authority in 2022. How many years ago? Is that a millennial behavior? Is that a Gen Z behavior? Of course not.
That's normal bad behavior.
We knew so many people who took advantage of company resources and enriched themselves as managers and leaders of the business. Were they not in a hurry to succeed or make money? Is that a millennial behavior? Is that a Gen Z behavior? You see why we need to reduce the biases and stop putting them in boxes and find ways to work with them. I strongly believe that leadership has a role to play to bring about harmony and reduce the conflicts in workplaces. Most people who are in leadership positions, over and above the millennials, they are still in the space of doing the same things over and over, and they're not wanting to change.
How do you bring them out?
That's what I've done in the last 1 year. As a matter of fact, I've not done many HR projects. My conversations have been around leadership.
Awesome.
Or FMCG client in March, we spoke with over 530 of their managers across Nigeria. Enugu, Ibadan, Kaduna, Abuja, and Lagos here. All 5 locations, taking 530 people through a leadership transformation program. They haven't stopped talking about it till today. And virtually all my speaking briefs have been around leadership. The ones that I still have about 2 or 3 before the end of this year, leadership. So we are continuing the conversation. We are continuing the sermonization of the Nigerian workplace to say, hey, leaders, get up, change. Otherwise, the Japa train will continue to move. People are not leaving just because of security reasons. They are leaving because of leadership in Nigeria. And I have looked leaders in the face and I've told them the truth. They tried SMEs, it didn't work. They tried owner-managed business, it didn't work. They tried international organizations, toxicity. What else? They will jackpot now. I put something on my WhatsApp status this morning, and somebody who works in an international organization that is celebrated in this Nigeria, she said, this is my company. I wrote about toxicity. The person said, this is my company. If you check my WhatsApp status, when I add your name, you'll see there, I said, if I mention this international organization, my WhatsApp will scatter. You see what I mean? So in my space, I'm doing this, the little that I can do. I need more people to join the field so that we can continue the conversations.
Perfect. How was it for you to transit? How easy was it for you to transit from your 9 to 5? Because the idea is passing the baton. This conversation has exposed me to the thought that you've intentionally built successors around. So how do you think most young people, because yes, I agree with you when you say millennials are not taught how to. How do you think is the best way to plan succession for the next generation? Because we're having more people going to entrepreneurship.
Right.
We're having more people move because of technology and the
Correct.
flexibility? How do you
Correct.
think is the best way in this era?
I think two things. My first advice would be to the younger generation themselves. Yes, technology will allow them to almost be in a hurry, but they should not neglect the process. Technology will fast forward the things that they need to do. So they don't have to do my 29 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Technology can allow them get there faster. But what they can't afford to do is to ignore process. So you see so many entrepreneurs who are struggling. They, especially in the tech space, they can raise funds, but they can't raise people.
Why is it so?
Because nobody got them ready. Again, the leadership gaps are there. And I'm sure you knew about the horrible bosses saga.
Yes.
You know what
yes,
I mean?
Yeah.
They could raise funds and all that. And I'm working with so many of them. I see it.
Yeah.
So it's a process. You can't get into leadership positions if you don't get ready for leadership responsibilities. It's not going to work. It's almost like an 18-year-old who just had a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you compare the same individual to someone who went through the right process, the right marriage and all that? And I'm not saying it's irresponsible to have a baby at 18.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that the difference will be obvious
Yeah.
if process is not there. So my words to them, build capabilities, build skills, build solid networks, and then it will be easy to translate. I say this with every sense of humility, with every sense of not in any way being proud. I left 7up November last year. Till today, I have not pitched for a business, i.e. to go and ask and say, guys, I'm doing my own thing now. What can you give me? I have not. Every single job till today, referrals, including the FMCG job that we trained 530 people. I just went to speak. And then somebody said, Yemi, we've been looking to do this thing in our organization. I'll refer you to my boss. And that was it. Till today. I'm sure you don't see YF Talent Partners anywhere. As a matter of fact, I project Yemi Faseun more than YF Talent Partners. YF Talent is in one small corner on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn.
But what you see, in fact, I'm always surprised. You said one over 100,000 followers. I have 150,000 plus now.
Yeah.
And then my engagement will go as high as reactions, 2,000.
That's crazy.
As high as comments at times, inching towards 1,000. But when I do something on YF Talent Partners, 5 likes, 12 likes, 7 likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about YF Talent Partners anywhere. But I'm not kidding you. It's been awesome. I have been totally humbled in the last 1 year. Now, the HR Directors Network, Adora is in that group. Yeah. All of them are my friends. I was admin in HR Directors Network. So I could go knock on doors and say, guys, don't let me go hungry now. Give me work. I know that God has helped us so much to the point that I haven't done anything. I haven't done any advert. But you know what? We've had briefs. That's because we built skills, we built capabilities, and we built quality networks. I've always said that quality networks are investments. And over a period of time, they will yield great dividends. If there is anything that allows me to transit like that, I think those will be the 3 things. Skills, capabilities, quality networks. Of course, skills and capability fully hinge on knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Amazing. I don't want to stop, but I have to. So what's your feedback to HRs, employees, employers in the new workplace on looking at the new year as the field of work keeps evolving? What do you think is the hack that everyone should be able to use looking at your own journey?
I think we should move away from emotional decisions. HR people, business leaders, employees themselves, business owners, let's all move away from emotional decisions. Let's use data of the last 3 years. It will be 3 years, maybe 2.5 years now. The pandemic broke about April, May.
Yeah.
Right? No, maybe March. Can we use data of the last 3 years to make better and informed decisions around people management?
What do you think is the biggest data we've seen?
The biggest hit?
Data.
Yeah. Japa. That's the thing. And people are not just Japa. It's business leaders, some HR people, entrepreneurs are quick to say it's because of Nigeria. It's an easy way out. And the point of data for me around Japa and resignation is not exit interviews. It is stay interviews.
Okay.
Please speak with them when they are still excited, working with you. They are still churning out numbers for you and all that. Do a stay interview. What is making you stay? What has made you stay? What will make you leave?
Now, this conversation, good you brought it up. We're reading a research for the last year, and that was one of the most recurring conversations about people neglecting people that are staying.
Correct.
And that's what we are not even looking at.
That's the thing. When I wrote on backward integration, Japa, backward integration, that's what I said. Any business owner or MD that I've spoken with in the last 6 months, I always tell them, please don't panic about those who have left. They have left.
Yep.
There are individuals who are I call them captive audience.
Yeah.
Your workforce, what can you do with them? So all the trainings that we neglected, the leadership thing that I talked about, we neglected training, Charles, and then people started training themselves.
Yeah.
When they now get the certification and they get the job, where will loyalty lie? Will it be to the organization or to self? No, let's be real. And that's why I said, let's talk to data and let data talk to us. McKinsey, Deloitte, KPMG, they are doing a lot around data globally and locally in terms of the worker, and the workforce. Let employees, employers, HR people, let's all lend ourselves to data for decision making rather than being emotional. When people resign, go today, they become enemies of the state. It's totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. I mean, we're talking, and I told you, before Teju left, my driver has been with me for 19 years. I promise you, I'm not the highest paying person.
That's loyalty.
Exactly. So how do you get to buy loyalty? And in that space, in that universe, they are really not usually loyal.
There are very few.
Believe me, probably one of the books I'm going to write in the future is about how I've been able to keep Bode. That's what I call Bode for about 19 years now. It's not because I increase his salary every time. It's just because I treat him as Bode. I promise you. That's it. The times when I needed to do things from a salary point of view or financial point of view, I tried. I did. But it's over and beyond that. If I tell him to come on Saturday and Sunday, every weekend he will come, but he doesn't work weekends. In the 19 years, not working weekend is standard. I drove myself here. You know what I mean? Unless I want to go for a wedding and parking space, or he needs to fix the car, or I'm traveling. Because I don't want to travel alone, I'll tell him in advance and all that. But to say constant work, weekend work, no. I think that was my number one retention strategy about 19 years ago. He liked it. So I'm going home on Friday to family, but bye-bye, go home to family as well. Because I met him married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every time he comes, he's happy to come on a Saturday because he knows that 1K or 2K will come out of that. But it is once a while.
Yeah.
He has his own thing to do and all that. So if we can just leverage on feedback from the workforce, it will help. Not the workforce that has left or Japa.
Those that have chosen to stay.
Those that are still with us. Backward integration, that's what I call it. What can we do to make you stay? What should we stop doing, start doing, and continue doing? Let's not rush to do things when they tell us they are resigning.
Okay.
Another thing that I'll leave you with quickly is that when people resign, it's not when they resign.
They've resigned long
ago. They left a long time ago. They left a year ago or 8 months ago. Don't forget that it takes a process to get another job. You do several interviews before you get final one. And then the MD is not available until 3 weeks time. And then you wait. And then you start negotiating salary. And then you wait. It takes a long time. So when you now say, what can we do to make you stay? Too late in the day. Let's do stay interviews. Get data from diverse sources around us so that we can manage the workforce a bit better going forward into 2023 and beyond. So
now we'll find you on LinkedIn. Where else can we find you?
I'm on Instagram. Interestingly, my followership on Instagram is getting interesting now. Everybody has been saying, start doing videos. And I'm like, I don't want to do things because everybody is doing it. Yeah. Try and see the things that I do. It's not because everybody is doing it. I try to do unique things. Yeah. I try to. So what I'm now doing is to use other people's videos for interpretation of workplace issues.
Perfect.
That's what I'm doing on LinkedIn now. Personal things, very, very few personal things on LinkedIn. Twitter, since this guy took over Twitter, I just got discouraged. I'm a culture person. I don't agree with his.
So you don't like Elon?
I don't like his attitude generally. Interestingly, honestly, maybe it must have been so subconscious. I haven't posted anything since he took over.
You see, that means culture is strong.
It is extremely strong.
Culture is strong.
It is. I haven't posted anything. I keep seeing 20 plus notifications, and I just skip by. So it's LinkedIn. I drop a lot of stuff on my WhatsApp status.
Okay.
And viewership goes as high as 300 to 400 within a 24-hour period.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I do that, and then of course LinkedIn. Outside of that, I am in collaboration with some startup businesses in the tech space. That's been really, really exciting for me this year as well. So the future is looking really good. Really good.
I'd have loved to keep you here, but I'll respect your time. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you, and thanks for all this. Thanks for all you do.
So we're looking at the impact you've made and you want to make in the next couple of years.
Right.
So what would you look back and you say, this is how you want us to see YF in the next 10 years, 5 years? What's your big vision about life? What's the big thing that you want to be remembered?
If anybody could say, okay, I'll just write it. That's it.
Awesome.